guys, Sophia here for my great challenge. You can see from the title of this video that I am making a big announcement today, and I'm freaking out. This is such a big deal. I don't think you realize how big of a deal this is. So let's take a trip down memory lane, shall we? I started YouTube pretty much in 2013, but really consistent videos in 2014. So it's been going on 9 years that I'm doing YouTube, and I could have never made it without your continued support. You watching my videos, sharing my videos, commenting on my videos, watching my videos again, you know, because some of you like to do that. You know, you remember a project and then you go back to an old video. So I could have never made it this far without you, and I am so grateful for that. But the behind the scene is, and most of you maybe don't realize, that when we do YouTube videos, they do come at a cost. We have to buy the material, we have to buy the supplies. If I do a recipe, I gotta buy all the ingredients. If I do a project around the house, I gotta buy the paint, the brushes, this, that, and the other. In ordinary time, it wouldn't be an issue because I get paid for doing YouTube videos. You all know that. We are paid per view, and that's why there's ads throughout the video. So in ordinary time, it's not an issue because, you know, I'll get, you know, my payout, and then some of it goes into the household and the rest goes back into the bank you know, for the supplies, so that I can continue doing videos. But if you've been watching me for a long time, you know that our situation right now is such that we only have one income. And we're at the point now where I really am stuck. I'm completely stuck. So I'm at the point now it's become very difficult to continue doing YouTube and provide for all of those supplies and everything that I need to do YouTube when we only have one income. That's just the reality. Whatever I make on YouTube now is going straight into the joint account to pay for our bills and all of that. So it's been quite difficult lately. But the other day, I was minding my own business and I got a ping on my phone. And I'm going to show you the picture that I got. It was from one of those websites that tracks my YouTube for me, so it gives me like hints and tips, peak times to upload videos, how people are responding to certain videos, you know, things like that. And I get this, and I just couldn't believe it. This is me a couple of weeks ago, passing the mark for 20 million views on YouTube. I sent that to my mom, I sent that to the family, and everybody was like, what? 20 million views on YouTube? You guys like me? I don't know what to say. I'm about to cry. I'm floored. 20 million views. So very obviously, there's something about my great challenge as a concept and as a channel that people like and go back to, and I don't want to stop the channel. I really don't want to stop YouTube. I don't want to stop my interaction with you, and I don't want to quit because I can't afford it. So some people say, well, Sophia, why don't you do Patreon? And I don't know. It's just like, it's asking people money. Are they gonna do it? What if it fails? You know, you get all those scenarios in your head and you're like, I don't know if I'm gonna do it. And I tell you what, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it, and I'm going to upload a Patreon. And this is my Patreon announcement video. So for some of you may not even know what Patreon is. So Patreon is an other website that is a subscription-based website. So instead of being just a watcher, you're also a supporter. And I know that there's been a lot of times when I've received messages or comments that, Sophia, I really feel like you know, you mean so much to me. How can I support you? And some of you send me things, and I'm so appreciative of that. But a lot of you, I know, want to do something a little bit more meaningful or maybe more personal and want to like support the channel, and because they've been part of this channel for so long. So it's a website that provides content. It's for a lot of artists. So there's arts, there's illustrators, there's musicians, there's seamstresses, there's poetry, there's videographers, photographers. It's basically for creators like I am on YouTube. But their fans, their supporters actually provide a monthly amount to continue supporting their projects, to continue supporting their family, or supporting the channel in general. So what happens with Patreon is that you get charged a fee every month at the beginning of the month, and then in exchange for that support, the content creator provides exclusive content that is just for their patrons. It's not a crisscross of YouTube where, well, I'm paying on Patreon, but the videos are on YouTube for free. It's a little bit different. So what happens with Patreon is that I can post videos that are exclusively for you and will never be seen on YouTube. I can do live events, live Q&A or live Zoom calls if I wanted to, that is just for patrons. And then there's a whole bunch of other things that I can do. I can do different giveaways, I can do polls, I can interact with you on a different platform, I can merge it with Discord, and we can even have our own forum if we wanted to, though I'm not doing that yet, okay, because I'm gonna need a moderator. All sorts of things that is specifically designed to reward patrons in exchange for their support. So I thought about it. And initially I was going to do separate tiers where, you know, if you give $3 a month, this is what you get. If you do $5 a month, this is what you get. And if you want to be like the VIP fan, it would be $8 a month, this is what you get. It's too complicated for me, and it's too complicated for you. So it's going to be, because I know you're going to ask, how much is it going to be? It's $5 a month. All right, so, but what are you going to get for $5 a month? A lot. I'm going to tell you. First of all, I'm going to do a weekly video update. Every single week there will be an update. It's probably going to be posted on Monday morning, and it's going to recap my week, probably providing you with pictures, and then it's also going to discuss what's coming up. And then light conversation, chit chat, not long, 15 minutes max. But then every Thursday I'll have a video, and that video is either going to be a Patreon exclusive, meaning that it's only for Patreon. It will never be seen anywhere else again. It's just for patrons. Or there would be early access videos, and those will be posted on YouTube at a 2 to 3 weeks delay. So you'll get to see them first, and you can see them anytime you want. They're there forever. But eventually, after 3 weeks, those videos are going to go onto YouTube because I just can't do two separate sets of videos for YouTube and Patreon and not have some kind of material and content to put on YouTube, because let's face it, okay, I still work full-time. I'm putting a lot on my plate right now, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it, but we're going to try, okay? So there's going to be Patreon exclusive videos and early access videos, but the early access will be posted on YouTube at least minimally 2 weeks after, or if not 3 weeks, sometimes a month later. So you get to see them before anybody else. And then every month I'm going to do a live. I'm going to do a live Q&A or a live presentation. And what I want to do ultimately, depending on the amounts of patrons that I have, is do Zoom calls. 30, 40, 50 people on Zoom, because I want to see you too, okay? I want to be able to grow a community where we get to actually interact with each other, not just via comments or DMs, but actually have meaningful conversations. And what I want to do with that, once I start setting up the Zoom, it all depends on how many people I have, okay? If I only get 10 patrons, it's gonna be okay. But if I have, like, let's say 2,000, I can't have 2,000 people on the Zoom. We'll never be able to have a word, because everybody's going to be talking. So I may do several one during the month if it's that many people. But the goal here is to not just do Q&A, because I think you're going to run out of questions at some point, okay? And eventually I'll run out of answers too. It's to do something a little bit different, where I'm going to come in and I'm going to present something. Because you always tell me, Sophia, you're such a good teacher. Sophia, you present stuff so well. You make it understandable. You're breaking down. I really appreciate that. So I want to do some of those Zoom calls or some of those live events as mini presentation seminars, whatever you want to call them. So let's say I show up one day. Well, I'll tell you ahead of time what it is anyway. But let's say I show up one day and I'm telling you, hey guys, you know what? We're going to do I'm going to present something on stress management. And I'll do a presentation for maybe 20-30 minutes, and then I'll open the floor and then we'll discuss it. And you'll be able to talk to other patrons and tell them how you're handling it, or what you're doing, and what works for you and what hasn't worked. And it's basically building a support group, but a supportive community of like-minded people that are just finding a home. And this is exactly what I want it to be. I want it to be a home for the super fans, for people who've been there for me since the beginning, for people who have always supported me and who want to continue to support me, but want to do it in a way that is even more meaningful than just sitting and watching a video. So that's the gist of it with regards to what you can expect on Patreon. Guaranteed 2 videos per week. Monday morning, weekly update, and then on Thursday I'll do a video that's either a Patreon exclusive or an early access, and then one time per month there will be a live stream, either as a regular live or as a Zoom call. Again, it depends on how many people are going to be in the Zoom. The other thing I wanted to tell you is that during those live events I'll do giveaways as well. It's easy for me to do giveaways because I have merch. So there'll be merch giveaways, and then when I have companies sending me stuff for giveaways, I'll do giveaways there as well. So you're probably wondering, well, when is this starting? Okay, so Patreon will charge you at the beginning of each month. That means that if I had done it in June, let's say June 22nd, right? You would have been charged for the whole month of June with getting only half of the content. So the launch date for My Great Challenge Patreon is going to be July 1st. So on July 1st, when you go on the website, and I'm going to show you some screenshots here and there because I already put it together. It's ready to launch. I just got to click that little launch button. You'll find my banner, my logo, my face is in there. It tells you what the tier is, everything that you get in the tier. That's, you know, the $5 tier. And then there's a little bit about me. I'm going to post a welcome video that day. I haven't posted it yet, that's why you don't see it. So that'll be, you know, the welcome introduction to the Patreon. And then starting Monday the 4th, for the 4th of July, there will be a weekly update. And then we'll take it from there. So the one thing I want to make sure I do is that I stay very transparent with you. I'm not abandoning YouTube. I totally understand that some people may be hesitant in supporting me financially through a Patreon channel, and it's not fair to them to lose the YouTube. YouTube is always going to be there. YouTube will always have fresh content that is not on Patreon, but it will also have content that came from the Patreon if I have those early access video. However, because I'm doing now 2 platforms, YouTube will be down to 2 videos a week, sometimes 3. But definitely 2 videos a week, because I am scheduling myself in a way where I am doing the Patreon's videos way ahead of time so that I have time on the weekend when I'm off work to work on the YouTube videos. So the content is still going to be there for you if you do not feel comfortable or if you can't join my Patreon. So I'm not abandoning you. I'm still going to be here for you guys. I'm just adding this particular channel for those of you who can and want to support My Great Challenge on Patreon. The other thing I want to make sure you know, as a Patreon, you will never get a surprise from me. I'm not going to tell you it's guaranteed 2 videos per week, and then one day I show up in the update and I'm like, I don't have a video. My videos are always going to be done ahead of time. But even better, I'm going to post a schedule at the beginning of each month of every single video that's going to be posted for that month. So when you join, you're going to be able to see exactly what the videos are going to be for that month. And I'm going to do that every single month. So that way you know what you're paying for ahead of time. So I did a little bit of research and I looked around on how people are presenting and announcing their Patreons and these like best practices basically. One of the things that people want to know is, what is your goal? Okay, so I do have goals and as to what I'm going to do with your support. Very obviously, initially and until Scott gets employed, your support is going to help me pay my bills. And that's really all it's going to be. I'm going to continue to do videos for YouTube and Patreons that are, you know, the usual content, but I'm going to keep the expenses a little bit on the down low because we just can't. Until Scott gets employed, your support is going to help me support my family. Then once Scott is employed and Patreon continues to grow alongside of my YouTube channel, then your support is going to help me finance all of the projects that I have remaining in the house. Your support is going to help me doing all those things in the future. And you have no idea how grateful I am to be able to have grown a community of folks who are actually willing to be a part of this. So before I start tearing up and getting all ridiculous on camera, I want to be very transparent and tell you this is what your support is going to be for. Initially, it's going to be to support us as a family, and eventually, once Scott gets to work, it's going to continue supporting my projects, but getting bigger projects around the house. So that's it. That was my Patreon announcement. Comment down below and let me know what your thoughts are. I understand that not everybody is going to be able to do it. I understand that times are tough all around for everybody, top to bottom. So it's not the best of timing for me to start a Patreon, and I have to recognize that. It's not the best of timing. That being said, absolutely no obligation to join Patreon. If you can't do it, I totally understand. Again, my YouTube channel will still be here for you. So if you feel that this is not the right time for you, don't worry about it. I get it. But for those of you who really want to take the jump and want to be part of a different type of community and get to know me a little bit more personally and spend more time with me, and get to know a little bit more about other patrons and other supporters, because if you read the comments, you're going to see that there's a lot of people who are repeat commenters. If you want to get to meet them and expand your circle of folks that you talk to and maybe break some isolation and be part of a community that is welcoming and non-judgmental, like-minded folks, then join in, and I would welcome you and be so very, very grateful for your support. So that's it. I'm looking forward to seeing you on Patreon starting July 1st. Thank you for watching, guys. Bye. Hey, it's me, and guess what? Click that thumbs up if you really like this video. Thumbs down twice if you didn't. You can also share my video if you really, really liked it, or save it to watch later. Also, you can subscribe to my channel, but don't forget to click that bell button so you are always notified when I post a new video. Thank you for watching.